Yo, 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 it's your boy Casual Rail with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that. Hit that like button. It's free, helps us get eyes on the show and helps us grow. And more importantly, subscribe if you got that time. We appreciate that love. And for this, let's get straight into it. It's the likes of Gervonta the Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, the rematch. Yes, the comeback, the rebuild. Rumored to be August 2025. And that's a good time frame. That's a good window. August is always a good time for fighting and a good time for boxing. But more importantly, let's get into the real thing of this discussion today. First off, there's rumors that Turki Al-Sheikh may be doing business with the likes of Gervonta the Tank Davis, and I'm here for it. Whether it's for this fight or a follow-on fight, I like to see Gervonta Tank Davis cross that side of the street as an independent contractor, still doing business with Al Haymon and PBC, the ones that help him grow his brand, and also get to that Turki Al-Sheikh bag. But more importantly, as a fight fan, give us that Shakur Stevenson fight. That would be good all around for his image, good for his career, and build him to where I believe he wants to be when he walks away from the sport of boxing. And the first step to get there is obviously to get this rematch, this return, this get back. And in our opinion here on the Silent A podcast, I think he's going to spin the block on the likes of Lamont Roach. No disrespect. I think from the first fight, obviously I think we saw a unfocused, mentally unprepared, mentally checked out Tank Davis. He didn't want to be there. He had his eyes already on Jake Paul, the big money fight, the big scrap. He had already seen the likes of Lamont Roach multiple times in the amateurs. They had history, throughout the Baltimore and DC area. He's seen him. He knew him already. Or at least he thought he knew him like that, and vice versa. Lamont Roach knew him like that and showed that night when he got in the ring, was well prepared. I think Tank thought he was just going to walk in, do his thing, be in shape, which he was in shape, but just do his thing and walk out of this thing easy and get to the next bag. But he walked into a man that was well prepared for him at probably one of the best moments of his career against Tank at probably, I ain't gonna say the lowest or the worst I've seen Tank, but at an average, blah, flat-footed Tank who was just not there. It's 80% mental, 20% physical, man. If you're mentally checked out and mentally overlooking someone and not focused, you will get beat. And that's why we saw Tank confused when he, A, couldn't drop, the likes of Lamont Roach, and B, couldn't even get past that defense to land the flush shot. So he was frustrated. And mentally not even aware of what was going on, hence taking the knee. August 2025, if that holds true and that holds the date, I think we're going to see the likes of a mentally focused Tank Davis. He's already physically where he needs to be. And you heard Lamont Roach even claim, he's too small for him. Not weak, but just too small, especially when they're physical on the inside. And that's okay. I don't need Tank Davis to go back to old blowed up Tank Davis. I don't need him to go, walk in 20 extra pounds heavier and so forth like he used to. That's okay to be small on the inside. It's more importantly to be physically fit and in shape. So he's already there. Tank's set on his regimen and set where he needs to be physically for a fight. But when it comes in terms of power, I think you're going to see Tank mentally locked in to where he needs to pick apart the likes of Lamont Roach, get in past that defense, understand what he's seeing now, be more engaged into the fight, and work a clear strategy to get the open shots that he needs so that Lamont Roach can actually feel him this fight. You don't have to be the biggest, but you can definitely deliver some power, especially if it's placed right at the right time and strategically. Ask the likes of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, who was one of the smaller heavyweights, but knocking them out left and right. Why? Because he had always had, at least in the past, good placement. He was a knockout artist. Timing, placement and speed on that punch can put any man down, no matter how big they are. And I think that's what you're going to see from the likes of Tank Davis in this rematch, especially if you see how both men are moving outside the ring right now. Tank's already been back in training for a while. Now, we could argue he may be overtraining, overdoing it, but he's locked in. He's got his regimen. I think his team is working, grinding. And you see Lamont Roach on his world tour. Now, that doesn't mean Lamont ain't working himself, but he's definitely heavier. You can see him in his videos, photographs, you name it. He's out kissing babies, hugging people, shaking hands at hockey events, drinking a little beer. Not saying he's unfocused. And rightfully so, he's proud of himself. But this ain't the time to keep patting yourself on the back. It's time to get back re-engaged where your other opponent now is locked in. And that's a Gervonta Tank Davis who is now locked in. Hence leading to our final point here. August 2025, again, if that holds true, I think this mentally focused Tank, who, in my opinion, should take that fight with Lamont Roach as a loss, even though it was a draw, mentally take it as a loss because he shouldn't have been there with you. He shouldn't have gotten that far. Not saying you should have knocked him out, but I'm just saying it should have been a unanimous decision or a knockout. You should have been showcasing your skills to get to the bag next and take it as a loss, take it as a hiccup, take it as a hindrance, and use that as fuel to spin the block. Come back and show them who you are and what you really can do. I think we're going to see a more improved Gervonta Tank Davis, a focused Gervonta Tank Davis, and one who is now engaged in the fight. And to me, that'll be the key to victory because skill set wise, they both can fight, both can scrap. Lamont Roach impressed me. He had very good defense, very good ring IQ. And now that I think Tank Davis sees that, he's going to elevate his skill set, not rely just on the power, not just rely on that uppercut that he has, and come in as if this is a chess match and not just a boring chess match, but one that will excite him and invigorate him to do the best that he can do in that ring. And I think the flat-footed, the blah, the confused, the mentally checked out person that you saw in that first fight is going to be elevated to the A+ fighter that he truly is. And I think that's something that Lamont Roach will prepare for, but I don't think he's ready for. I'll say it again. I think Lamont Roach will prepare for an A+ Gervonta Tank Davis, who will switch up his game plan and come in methodical, but I don't think he will be truly ready for what he's going to see that night. Now, again, this is just our opinion, our breakdown. You know, Lamont Roach maybe be able to do the same thing. Maybe this style is just a bad matchup for the likes of Tank Davis, especially a style from a person who you have history with. This is why fighters try to avoid sparring mates and people they had a lot of history back and forth with in the amateurs. But based on what we saw and based on what we're seeing now, I see Tank coming back viciously in this fight. And he'll pour it on late. I'm not too sure it'd be a knockout or TKO or nothing like that. Lamont Roach's chin seems pretty good, pretty solid. He may go down in those later rounds as accumulation of shots build up, as Tank's kind of building up his rhythm. And again, it's way too early for a true prediction. But I just see Tank elevating this fight to where it needed to be the first time. And I believe he will take this as a lesson learned. Now, if he does not, we may be seeing the beginning of the end of Tank, which I highly doubt, or just a man who's got his number. Either way, that's our opinion on this. Hit that like button first, comment below, and as always, subscribe if you got that time. And it's your boy Casual Rebel with the Sign 8 Podcast. Until the next time, peace.